Welcome to the 27th episode of Strategic Zoomcast. What you're watching is Luvnest Wehrmacht. He's in a tournament semi-final game, and who does he find himself up against? It's the #1 USA player, VonIvan. Well, he's from the USA. He's playing as the Soviets here. This is a semi-final game of Tightropes Pacific Invitational 3. What an awesome tournament it looks to have been. Whilst we were all sleeping here in Europe, they seem to have been waging holy hell against each other. Well, one European wasn't, and that's Luvnest, because the #1 German player here playing as the Wehrmacht. The Wehrmacht is indeed in this tournament. He's in a semi-final, so it's one of the best ESL EU players versus the best NA player. He's playing his absolutely very, very well played Soviet faction. For one reason alone, he seems to have a lot of dominance as these guys, and it's the Maxim heavy machine gun. 260 manpower, a little bit of a nerf over the past 3 months, but he's still rocking it, tending to build 2 in each game, and tending to really try and push down his opponent and keep him allotted in certain territory points. Luvnest, however, of course, a fantastic player himself. He has great control in the early game. He has very, very precise capping orders and barbed wire denial tactics. The MG42 followed by 2 grenadiers. He'll be looking to really nail down this top left quadrant of the map and pretty much aim to make VonIvan his bitch in as small a time as possible. Luvnest is not a showy player. Luvnest is an efficient and decisive player. He does not mess around, to put it bluntly. The point of this combat engineer in this building is to obviously deny the building, but to give advanced warning of any possible attempts on his cutoff, because he knows Luvnest will be making aggressive inclinations in this early game. Maxim in a great territory sector, able to both cap the munitions and push the grenadiers away. Grenadiers likewise jumping into the heavy garrison, so the combat engineers are going to similarly have to go back to theirs. MG42 in the north, going to be able to actually get Luvnest a little bit of a VP lead in the start. Why am I mentioning VPs only 2 minutes into the game? Because it's a tournament game. You notice in tournament games the players do focus on VPs more. It's because if this game goes to a decider, you know, they get choice having VP lead overall. Mortar out for Luvnest as his 4th built unit, so it's MG double Gren mortar. German mortars, fantastic rate of fire, will surely make quick work of the Maxims if they're not moved around tactically. Grenadiers also coming into focus. So he's drawing the fire into the garrison. Now he's going for the punch. VonIvan hears the whistle of the mortar as it shrieks through the air. Repositions the trolley and pushes it further away. Elsewhere, we got a little bit of an infarction into VonIvan's territories. The conscripts are more than equal to that. And there you go, the mortar's found its 2nd mark. 2 men dead on that Maxim. Do have the other Maxim possibly just keeping the southern flank in his territories for now. We have a mine up here. We have an S minefield here. It doesn't matter because the MG42 has them in their sights, to borrow an Overwatch saying. Maxim in base, getting some much needed repairs. 2nd MG42 coming out from Luvnest. Interesting tactic. It should be noted, by the way, in most tournament games at the moment, Allies are the victorious faction, it must be said. It's USF and Soviet dominant. In auto match as well, to be honest. OKW is the most highly picked of the 2 Axis factions. That seems to do the bet. Just to interrupt myself there, combat engineers have got a flamethrower, which means they could be pushing on this grenadier here. So the Maxim's also pushing in tandem. We also have a little bit of action. You know, it is mainly the southern push. Has the combat engineer found their building? Yes, it has. Looks like he's going to be able to get into the garrison. No, he isn't. He fires through the window. The grenadier's in a very difficult situation. Darts out. He's relying on the suppression from the MG42, and it looks like he's thwarted this advance. 2nd Maxim pushes up 4-man squad. The combat engineers make it around the building to block themselves from the MG42's flurry of bullets there. 1st Maxim has to retreat now, 1 man remaining. And he has managed to take the garrison and actually kills a few grenadiers whilst they're retreating. So not bad work at all there. just about taking the central victory point, and now he's going to be possibly able to push up for the cutoff. But Luvnest knows it's coming, repositions the MG42 to face the southern flank of the building, and this Ura is going to be to nothing because he's going to run straight in to that. There you go, as soon as he sees it. Oh no, he makes it behind the, he's made it behind the sight blocker. This bush is a sight blocker, and he's now pushed to the northern tip of the cutoff, and it looks like he's going to be the first player to make a successful cutoff in this game. Second mortar coming out from Luvnest. He's going to double up on indirect fire and really try and make a go of this. Surprised we're not seeing... He hasn't got enough munitions for a demo charge. That would have been an interesting tactic. But Luvnest doesn't know that, so I don't think he'll be too willing to use this garrison. If he hadn't laid this mine here, he would have had the munitions. Two-man squad, one-man squad now. He's got some veterancy, so he needs to keep that thing alive. Always, you cannot undervalue the combat engineer and pioneer double veterancy. You really do notice it in the late game when your heavy tanks need to be repaired. The double tandem mortar team. 8 squad members and 2 shells every 3 seconds. It's going to absolutely obliterate the Maxims if they stand still. And with veterancy, it becomes even a lower amount of time and a higher rate of fire. Oh god, this conscript's in a difficult situation. It's got to retreat through a big arc of fire here on negative cover. 2 squad mates remaining, 1 squad remaining, 1 burst, and it's dead. Dear god. Really noted the danger there quite early on, but VonIvan wasn't able to do the same in this high-stakes tournament game. Well, he retreated, but he couldn't get out of the arc of fire. It was just a great execution from Luvnest, in all honesty. He's replaced it, however, with Guards Rifle infantry, and they are dead infantry. Oh god, and here come the mortars, smashing onto the church, his roof. Rifle nade goes in, conscripts unperturbed. They're able to keep duking it out, denying this victory point from the German. Got to be careful that Maxim gets out just in time. Grenadiers pushing to the medium cover wooden fence there. They're going to be able to possibly get around the cover of the conscripts if they push even further. Elsewhere, he's pushing up with his elite infantry and with his flamethrower infantry. And also a Maxim. He's making a big push into the centre here. The mortars are exposed. All of Luvnest's forces are in the north. 1 conscript behind 1 heavy sandbag fighting position was able to do a lot of work there in just drawing the fire of Luvnest and allowing VonIvan to make a big push into this fleshy, under-defended belly of Luvnest's territories. Let's have a look in terms of tech. Are we considering getting tier 3 up yet? Let's check on Luvnest. He does have tier 2 up. Battle phase 1 complete. He's got a pack 40 coming out in expectation of the T-70s. But we're not seeing them quite yet. Should be noted that VonIvan has of course gone for guard motor coordination tactics, the most picked Soviet commander of all time in tournament play, because in 2012, 2013 it was the most heavily picked. And it's made a big resurgence there, so I'm going to just jump out with that statistic and expect it to be right, to be honest. Oh, this bloody combat engineer has been forgotten about. He makes it out at the last second though. You forgot about me, Commander! Look at this barbed wire. It just makes this into a citadel for Luvnest. And finally, due to this great flank from VonIvan, he was able to take this heavy munitions and possibly the heavy fuel away from Luvnest. And Luvnest's territories, must be said, not looking too great right now. It's a sea of blue out there. And the Maxims are stopping Luvnest from pushing out, so it's really worked in his favour. Should be noted, by the way, that Luvnest has spent 320 manpower on a pack that he does not need right now. He could have brought it out reactively. He just expected VonIvan to have tier 3, and we've got no such building. Yes, we have there, but he could be doing it to build tier 4, because you have to have 2 to build 1. And of course, he'll be opting for the T-34-85, what should be known as medium battle tanks. There you go, the fuel nearly in his favour. He's got the TM-35 mine also down. Pioneers with a sweeper make short work of this mine, and push to try and take the munitions. They're actually beating the conscripts right now. Only 2 MP40s firing, the others holding a frying pan. Conscripts on low health. Oh, they both run away from the mortar at the exact same time. They must have had other engagements to be worried about, and yes, indeed, at the moment, Luvnest is trying to micro a push onto the guards and the Maxim. Double mortar, by the way, up from... oh, no, it's not. I'm my bad. Tier 3 almost up. The Pinata guards drop their weaponry. Gonna have to get out of there. They are going to be able to do so. The Soviet mortars having a difficult time up against the veteran and the non-veteran tandem mortar team of Luvnest. LMG's doing good work. Climb to Veterancy 1. Probably going to hit Veterancy 3 within the next 10 minutes. He's just sitting in wait behind the 2 fuel points now. That's right, 2 fuel points. VonIvan has a 36 income. Luvnest only has a 16 income. That's 20 extra fuel per minute for the American. And Luvnest really is suffering. He's got a victory point disadvantage. He's down to 346. VonIvan sitting pretty in terms of fuel, in terms of victory points. Must be noted, however, Luvnest's army size and value is larger. Obviously, one of those units is the pack, which has been utterly useless so far, but he has a lot in his favour. He's got 3 core infantry squads. He's lost 1 grenadier in all this. Sorry for not capturing that on camera, I don't recall. No, did he? No, he did not. He never built a 3rd grenadier. Let's just double check on the losses. So you go to this screen, and Luvnest has lost nothing, so that'll be why he's looking quite safe and sound right now. VonIvan has just lost the conscript. T70 is now out from tier 3, so my bad. He gets Fausted, damaged engine, Pack's pushing up. There's been a very good game for preservation was the point of all that now. MG42 has pushed into the southern quadrant to help the Pioneers win this battle. Revenge of the Pioneers, they've got their bigger brothers with them. Maxim pushes in as well. Probably not the right decision. A little bit of bad micro from Von. T70 pushes up, eats a Pack 40 shot. Will it be able to get out of there? Reverses behind the sight blocker. No second shot, misses. Grenadiers pushing up on the Soviet mortar. Might be able to finish it off here after a heavy barrage from the double Wehrmacht mortar team. Trying to pick up the stovepipe. Can't quite make it. Kar 98's firing and the mortar makes it out alive. I would not have known. There you go. Headshotted on retreat. Just gave him an expectation of salvation there and wasn't quite able to make it out alive. T70 gunning for this Grenadier though. Will he be able to kill the Vet 2 Grenadier? I think he's going to go for this. He's currently poised. You do it. Oh, he's changed target. Grenadier survives, but at least he'll get his mortar back, most likely. Come on, T70. You're meant to be able to do this. This is what you're built for. Pack 40 lining up a shot. Will he be able to make it? Hits the shed instead. T70's going to have to reverse out of there. Elsewhere, the battle of the MGs, one's behind yellow cover, however, and had the element of surprise in an ambush. Was able to make it. Conscripts now darting behind the MG42 to keep the fuel still in VonIvan's favour. 36 income still.
We are losing a sector.
So it's a good game overall. However, of course, you have seen 2 losses now for VonIvan. That's 3 mortars for Luvnest. Not too sure if he'll even bother remanning this mortar. Yes, he is actually. Probably just to 4 men though. Luvnest is a very calculated player. Wouldn't expect him to field another one. Is that another T70 to come out from VonIvan? He's going to go for a very, you could argue, spammy. Well, yeah, you would in a tournament level game seeing 270. There's a rule for spam. Certain units in multiple are known as spam, but for other units it has to be like more of a number to be called spam. So 5 conscripts is spam, 2 T70s is spam, but 4 conscripts is not spam, and you know what I mean. There's an element there of I'll make a formula one day for it. Trust me. Faust goes in. We'll be seeing vehicle crew repair. He does have the munitions, but the Pack 40 misses. Looks like he won't need it. It's finding the bonus of the road. No, out of control careers into the wreckage and becomes wreckage himself. Newly built T70 because he definitely needs it now. Must be noted, however, VonIvan, of course, has still got a massive fuel count, so it's not actually damaged him too much. Just think of that as a loss in terms of 200 manpower. It's really like losing a Pioneer or something. I wouldn't worry about that too much for the VonIvan. He's still massively in this. However, his army is looking a little bit small at the moment. It must be noted he has got a nice, healthy VP lead, which is very important. Because time is money in Company Heroes 2. What's this? Out of the Mechanized Assault Doctrine, we've got the Sturmgeschützmodell, the infantry dominator, especially when it hits veterans, so you can really pick off squads for fun. A lot of squad mates killed there. Here comes the Stug.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Stug highly reminiscent of the early phases of World War II, when they were still designated as infantry support artillery. All the Panzer Grenadiers have found the flank of the Maxim. Are they going to be able to finish it off with SGG's? VonIvan, what are you playing at, Sunshine? That's another win in Luvnest's favour. Really not going well for VonIvan here. Luvnest just seems like he's on form right now. But VonIvan is a man capable of massive comebacks. And you got to be thinking, I ain't chose this replay for no reason.
Light artillery barrage ready to launch.
Stug's doing good work on the guards. They have actually clinked away to its frontal armour and penetrated it, but it's not enough. Tier 4 is now coming up. He's got the prerequisite fuel for the T-34-85 as well. Maxim having to retreat past the church. But a nice assault on these grenadiers here. Misses, well, the rifle lead actually does a lot of health damage, and the Stug might finish these guys off if it manages to move its hull and fire on it. Oh, almost. That Vet 2 combat is one of VonIvan's best units right now, because he hasn't actually got that much else to choose from. But as I say, time is money in Heroes. There's a dynamic here. Look at VonIvan's manpower income, 246. Every squad you lose, every vehicle you lose, your overall manpower upkeep decreases. And you're able to then re-kit and re-erect your army very quickly. God, suffering under heavy fire here. Gonna have to get out of there, in my opinion. Oh, God, what are you doing, man? There you go. Yeah, he knows to retreat when he sees the Grenadiers. And to be honest, it's all for naught. He didn't even manage to cap that munitions point in the end. Got a MG42 behind cover. Sorry, in the garrison there. Sees the conscript instantly, pushes them away. March of the elite infantry, Panzer Grenadiers with their experienced Vet 3 Grenadier. Surprisingly, no LMG on those bad boys quite yet. There is on this one though, and they're gunning for the guards. T-70 comes to protect. Gives good covering fire. Stug not able to find an angle on that said light tank. Does manage to do it through the bushes, however. Great shot from Luvnest. Tries again, misses. This demo still not needed to be activated quite yet. So how's VonIvan going to re-kit? How do we think? He's got his T-34-85 out. That's going to help a lot. This is now the most fearsome competitor on the battlefield, this tank. It can handle and dispatch all foes. Luvnest, however, in 3.5 CPs will of course have the mighty Tiger Panzerkampfwagen 6. Good attack from the T-34s, going for the weaker target in the north there. MG in a building, the first shot might even kill a few squad mates. There's only 3, so it could actually do some good work here. MG straight out of the building. He's going to have to get out of there. The Pak 40 was actually covering all the while. Has VonIvan seen it? You'd wager that he has right now. No, he's reversing at it. It's possible that he didn't. He just managed to find his way around the shield. Destroys the building in a mighty show of dominance, possibly some kind of tribal war dance there. Oh, and here comes the Blobberino from VonIvan. He's got all of it together. He's going to go for a big push. He's got his T-70 also coming in. VonIvan's gunning for it here. Light tank, medium tank, elite infantry, support weapons. It's all going for it. Mortars down. Pak 40's in a difficult situation. The Panzerschrecks have popped at just the right moment. Great pop there from Luvnest. The Pak 40's now decrewed. The T-70's gunning for the Pak. He needs to keep the T-34 alive in all this, because that is the crowning glory of his army. The Stug is firing on the T-70. He can penetrate that weak rear armour. T-34-85 is now gunning for the Stug. Mark target is engaged as the recon planes fly overhead, and the march of VonIvan's army continues. He's gunning for it. He knows he's got one big chance to really defeat Luvnest, because Luvnest has picked away at his army all game, trying to find the rear arm of the Stug. One more shot required. Can that big 85mm cannon do the damage? The Guards help out. The T-34 makes it. VonIvan, one of the best pushes I've seen all year. T-70 still alive. Defeats the Grenadiers on retreat. MG42 is dropped, and VonIvan, oh my god, what a push. He came from all angles. He was like cockroach coming out from under the refrigerator. He was everywhere. Fantastic stuff from VonIvan. He gets the PAC-40, he's got the stovepipe, and all of a sudden it's Luvnest looking like he's in a very weak position. He's got 3 MGs, he's got 2 core infantry, 2 mortars. What a strange army composition. Got to keep these tanks alive though. He's managed to get the T-34-85 to safety, but currently the T-70 is in peril against the Panzerfaust. But there'd be nothing to follow up on it. There's nothing to follow up now for Luvnest. He's just got to go back to his base and re-kit, to be honest. Recon mode enabled for the T-70, currently capping this strategic sector. This does act as a cut-off, and this is VonIvan really trying to pen Luvnest back into his base. And to be honest, this hasn't been anything about balance. This has all been about VonIvan's excellent push, because for all intents and purposes, Luvnest had this game, and all of a sudden VonIvan's looking like he's in a commanding position. Second T-34-85 is out. It's an interesting position, able to thrust itself straight at his opponent. He's just lost an MG in the building, wasn't focused on that. To be honest, he might be getting a little bit cocky right now. He's in a very good position. Panzerschrecks find the frontal armour of the T-34-85, not able to do too much damage against it for obvious reasons. LMG's now been taken by the conscripts. It's all going so wrong for Luvnest so quickly. Recon mode still enabled, going to go for this victory point because he currently needs to double up on his efforts. This PAC-40 could be done with taken. What's this big rumbling I hear? It's 60 tons of over-engineered destruction coming for you. That's it, with the old, you have to zoom out really quickly so you don't phase through and ruin the camera shot. The Tiger with instant impact finds the T-34-85. 76, what am I on about? Oh, we don't have to bother anyway because it's now dead. PAC-40 turns his revenge upon the Tiger. The Panzerschrecks also come in. It's a shame about the lack of a marked vehicle available. Panzerschrecks might be able to get one big salvo in on the T-34-85, pushing it away. He does manage to get a bit of veterancy in the meantime. So he's now down to 1 T-34. T-70 still an option. However, Luvnest suddenly, with the upgrade on the Panzer Grenadiers, he's not looking too weak in all honesty. And you got to consider that VonIvan has lost a lot of squads in the earlier game, so to be honest, if he gets a few more wins like that, Luvnest, he'll find himself straight back into this. That is the combat mechanics inherent to the game. You really have to finish your opponent off and continue to win battles to really finish a game, and that mortar was absolutely executed by the Vet 3 Panzer Grenadier. Tiger not able to find its mark.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
Constantly firing upon the Guards. Does force a retreat, however. T-70 sulking around the southern areas of the battlefield, now finally clamouring to capture that munitions point. Tiger's going to try and bully these little squads in the north. Knows these T-34s aren't battle ready yet. And the T-70, of course, is reduced to being a capping and harassment unit. Guards could go down here. They're actually veterancy 1 Guards. Can the MG set up? Squad mates might even get the kill at that rate. Shame about no pintle mount on the Tiger. Really could have finished him off if that was the case. Just the main cannon and the hull gunner. T-34 clamouring for a bit of aggression against this Tiger. If he gets marked target, which is 80 munitions if he gets that. Oh, big frontal armor penetration. The Tiger's actually in a difficult territory here. You do, however, the Panzerfaust to cover. He's engaged his T-34. He's going for it again. Another frontal armor penetration with 4 munitions away from marked target here. Still no... Yeah, there's the damage engine from the Faust. He could just about get it. He's behind the log pile. Difficult angle. Marked target engaged. Oh, he's had a damaged cruise-knocked engine there. What is that? That's engine overheated? What the titty fuck is that? And the Panzer Grenadiers really gunning for this T-34. Really not going to happen. To be honest, anything could finish off that Tiger at the moment. All these units were held up and suppressed. He did manage to possibly kill the mortar. There's the T-34-85, the Veteran C2 vehicle now dead. Marked target utilised and not taken advantage of. It was actually, to be honest, VonIvan really should have not used it. He knew his tank was done for, in my opinion. Just a waste of 80 munitions, but I suppose it was just desperation of the purest sense. A second T-34-85 now careering into Luvnest's territories. It runs straight into a pack. It's just going to get one shot off. One shot off required on the Tiger. Will he be able to make it? He's engaged a ram! He's engaged a ram and he makes the kill! Oh, yes! Oh, no! Oh, RNG gods, why have you forsaken VonIvan in this, his darkest hour? Oh my god, that is so unlucky. The ram has just become an object of destruction for VonIvan. Don't tell me he's going in for the kill with a T-70. This is brilliant play. VonIvan's just so annoyed about that Tiger. He's gone for it with the T-70. Plinks off the sidearm and needs to get round to the rear of the wreckage. He's not making penetrations. Oh, that was good. I think that was the Pack 40 got the kill for him, actually. He might have missed. It seemed like it. Will he be able to get away from the Panzerschrecks? Oh, no! Double Panzerschreck smashed through the paper-thin armour of the T-70, and it's now a burning wreck. Who's got the better army, though? Both players have a Pack 40. To be honest, it's too close to call at this point. It's anybody's game. They've lost all their armour. They have a similar fuel count, similar army size in general. Luvnest's advantage is the 2 MGs, which of course will enable him to close down his opponent and keep victory points in the late game. So you could actually expect VonIvan to build a couple of Maxims, to be honest. That wouldn't be a bad option. Should be noticed as well, Luvnest also has his mortars, so he has a lot of variety in his armour that VonIvan might not be able to compete with. He needs to get a few strategical wins on these support weapons and try and steal them, to be honest. Easier said than done, by far. Another MG42. That's 3 MGs now for Luvnest. They are all MG42s, so a superior territory denial machine gun. Got a larger scope of fire. And there's example of it right there. The guards were not able to push up at all, and currently Luvnest has the VP control advantage, not the VP count advantage. Two different things. Well, that's an example of some of VonIvan's wins. He's got the LMG on the conscript still, not doing too shabbily. That is a word. T-34-85, the third of its name. Well, the third T-34. Let's do a count on that in a second. That combat engineer is going to be fine. So that's Luvnest. He's lost 1 Grenadier and 1 Pioneer all game. That's great preservation for this calibre of game, to be honest. Hang on, you have to do the relic shuffle. There you go. Guards currently suppressed. Right then. So, God, VonIvan's built 2 T-34-85s, he's lost 2. He's built 2 T-34-76, that's all he's able to build, and that's what we've got on the battlefield right now. So this is the 4th T-34 on the field, and he can't be feeling too confident about his chances right now, especially considering he's the less bulky of the T-34 variants in the game. To be honest, it's more of a harassment vehicle, like a bulked up T-70 almost. Oh, and here come the Panzer Grenadiers and the Pack 40. What's the T-34 doing? It's making itself a target. It's lingering. This is brutal to watch. VonIvan surely must be having some kind of issues here with fatigue almost. Just not got the activity levels he needs to compete against Luvnest in the where it counts, in the not when it's not the big pushes, when it's the smaller engagements, because they're all adding up in Luvnest's favour right now. I mean, VonIvan might have had the big knockout blow, but this isn't one round. This is an absolute war, and all the little jabs Luvnest is successfully landing are really starting to add up now. And on the judges' scorecard, if it goes to a decision, you got to say it's in Luvnest's favour. So VonIvan just needs a big knockout blow, but has he got the material in order to engage it anymore? Panzer Grenadiers keeping territories in Luvnest's favour. VonIvan really needs this win. He's playing as Soviets, his strongest faction. He's fighting for valor and for the honour of the NA ESL camp here, for the Pacific region. Don't want to let this big, mighty German player come in, rock in, and cock slap the competition. Love the music, by the way.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
This is one of the best songs. Oh, just as it trails off, bastard. Tried to turn it up for you. It was the one that went do 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 do. You know what I'm on about. To be honest, the actual KOH 2 soundtrack is fantastic. It's not as immediately apparent as the KOH 1 soundtrack, which has more memorable themes, but I just think it fits the setting better. Very good. Well, the KOH 1 soundtrack was more of a Western setting, so they kind of both work. They definitely nailed that aspect of the game. The sound design, the sound overall of KOH, both games fantastic. Now we've got Luvnest, he's surrounding the guards. They're in a difficult situation, weren't even able to neutralise his victory point. Elsewhere in the north, similar situation. This Maxim, that's right, stolen Maxim, so one of them was a Maxim. Double MG on the guards, they don't stand a chance, pinned almost instantly and pushed away. Pioneers in the church. No chance, combat engineers that is. And I've just got a feeling that Luvnest has this now. There doesn't seem to be anything VonIvan can do. It's been a good game, though. It's been a very good game. And one thing you must know about VonIvan and tournaments, he does not know when to call it a day. But is it a day? I mean, we'll give it some times 2 treatment, that's for sure. And don't be too harsh on me for this. I have watched countless tournament games this year. I know when a game is over, and I'm very surprised if this one isn't. He's got stuff like the bunker, which doesn't take up any of his pop cap, and he's now got that upgrade with an MG. Both suppressed. He's got so many MGs. This is all about the game being closed out from Luvnest's perspective. VonIvan does have enough fuel for another T-34-85. That might be what he's going to go for.
We are losing a sector.
T-34 is going to go up north and try and close down those territories. Should be noticed that VonIvan was able to make it around the rear of the bunker, but the Tiger's just going to keep gunning for that guard squad. And then costly losses to lose. They get pushed away, and both squads suppressed. And 2 STGs in the rear for his troubles. Stolen Pak 40, still probably the only thing keeping VonIvan in this from a strategic point of view. But that was taken by the Panzer Grenadiers, a bundle grenade and a few headshots. Elsewhere, here we go, the 5th T-34 of its name, this time an 85 variant. Marauding around the southern territory sectors, looking for a win, can't quite find one. Because he's pushed around. We've got 2 Pak 40s again in Luvnest's control. In a difficult situation, the Paks are coming gunning for him. There you go, they find the armor, main gun destroyed. Just got to get round. Oh, the Tiger finishes him off. Max range almost. Well, it wasn't max range, but it was a nice oblique angle behind the sight blocker. Conscript might die on retreat. There you go, STGs continue to fire. And Von just does not know when he's defeated, and that's the advantage of replay casting, not live casting. You can go into ×2 mode. I mean, it is honourable that he fights for himself. He fights to win. And to be honest, Company Heroes has never had that RTS kind of feel where you GG at the first possible moment unless you're an Asian player. It must be noted some of the Asian players I don't want to say an Asian guy that actually lives in America, because that would make me sound racist, but notoriously in SNF we had quite a few things, and I put that down to ex-StarCraft players, to be honest, because the GG mindset of when it's in the first 5 minutes you've lost 2 squads, you GG. But coming here is such a comeback mechanic-orientated game that we really don't have that culture, and VonIvan embodies that. Although, to be honest, I'll say this: I think he takes it too far. I think he does it just to prove a point sometimes. And for example, he's doing everything right. He's playing like an AI in this situation, but by all intents and purposes, he should have GG'd a long time ago. He's built a ZIS gun. He's lost 5 T-34s in the course of this battle. But thank you, VonIvan, for giving us that fantastic push, because this game wouldn't have been anything without that. That was an amazing sight to see. I really thought you could have won from that situation onwards. So this game has had twists and turns. It has been exciting. And right now, there you go. We've got Luvnest victorious. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the rest of the tournament now for you. I believe Luvnest does go on to win the whole damn thing. So there you go, Luvnest is back and dominant in this battlefield. And look at his army there. There was no winning here for VonIvan. He's absolutely surrounded his opponent, who's had to capitulate completely here. Let's just go through the stat screens very briefly before I take it to an anti-spoiler screen. Well, to be honest, we don't read an anti-spoiler screen, do we? Because we went through all that crap of the ×2 once I knew the game was over and it was obvious it was. No point listening to me half-heartedly cast, is there now? So that's the personal stats for Luvnest. Look at that. 2-to-1 KD almost. Let's go to VonIvan. That's still on Luvnest. You have to do the relic shuffle. Got the graphs. Look at that. That's that really interesting portion of the game here. With VonIvan's big push, and then Luvnest's comeback, and then from that point onwards it was all the German. Resource float is not an interesting graph, to be honest, but points held is. VonIvan's control, Luvnest's mid-game dominance, VonIvan's push, Luvnest comeback. What a great game. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you for episode 28. Thank you, and goodbye.